UFC 319 is this weekend. We're going to go through the entire main card, giving you my picks and predictions on who I think will win and why. So if you want to make some money, bet some money on my picks because we're bound to get at least one right. With that being said, the first fight on the main card, flyweight bout, Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott is a UFC veteran. Good grappler, good striker, overall a good UFC fighter. He's got good wins, and he catches a lot of people in submissions, which is something to look out for. But Kai Asakura just fought for the belt, lost to Alexandre Pantoja by second round submission. With that being said, I am favoring Kai Asakura. He's the younger fighter. I think he is quicker. He holds way more power, and he's a more dynamic striker. He's looking to take your head off. He'll throw a flying knee, spinning back fist, and then throw a jump knee or a Superman jab. He's just looking to explode on you. Pause. And he's a good overall striker. Like, he's a good fighter. He's looking to put you out. He has a ton of power, and he's super fast. And I don't know if Tim Elliott will be able to compete with that. Tim Elliott is the perfect gateway keeper for the flyweight division. He won't ever be a champion, but he will hold that 7 to 12 rankings in the flyweight division. He can catch people in submissions, but overall, I think if Tim Elliott wants to win this fight, he has to make this a grappling fight. He has to take this to a decision, and he definitely can win that way. But I am betting on Kai Asakura to pretty much overwhelm Tim Elliott in that first round, throw a ton of power shots, pretty much anything like a spinning back kick, or maybe he'll just double up on the jab, throw an overhand right, drop Tim Elliott, land some ground and pound, and beat him that way. I think Kai Asakura, being this new fighter in the UFC, he has something to prove. He just lost to Pantoja, and I'd be willing to bet he is going to do something crazy in this fight. I think Tim Elliott, he's a good UFC veteran. He is strong, he is durable, but Kai Asakura is just he's just lightning. You know, he's so fast, he's powerful. Really good, and I think in the first round, I'm putting my money on Kai Asakura to win. With the second fight, Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. Another good fight for this card. UFC 319 is loaded. Jared Cannonier, 18-8 in the UFC. He's coming off the Gregory Rodriguez win, which was a good knockout win, fourth round. But I'm picking Michael Venom Page to beat Jared Cannonier. When anybody goes from a smaller division up, it always seems like they do better. When you look at the welterweights going to the middleweight division, so Robert Whittaker, Kevin Gastelum, Khamzat Chimaev. Gosh, not many people that I thought of, but I feel like the fighters that are smaller and they move up to the next weight class, they always do better against the stockier, more powered fighters in that division. And I think Michael Venom Page will beat Jared Cannonier. I think he is a better striker. He's faster. And he also has a pretty good reach to himself. He's super long and lanky. I don't know if Jared Cannonier is going to be able to take Michael Venom Page to the ground. That's how he'll win, is inside box, clinch up with MVP, take him to the ground and pound. I don't think he'll be able to do that. I think Michael Venom Page is too fast on the feet. He does that hop in 1-2 a lot. And I don't know if Jared Cannonier is going to be able to time that, with MVP. We shouldn't overlook Jared Cannonier because he has beaten good fighters in the UFC. Sean Strickland, Marvin Vettori, Derek Brunson, Kevin Gastelum, Jack Hermanson. He's beaten good fighters. The problem is with Jared Cannonier, sometimes I feel like he likes to play this stalemate game on the feet where he's waiting too much. And I think we see that a lot in the Nasruddin Imavov fight, the Kai Pahalo fight, the Israel Adesanya fight, where Jared Cannonier is like waiting for something to happen. And I think if you do that with MVP, he's just going to piece you up on the feet. And that's why I'm picking MVP to beat Jared Cannonier, a decision win in that fight. In the featured fight, Carlos Prates versus Geoff Neal, another amazing fight. I'm picking Carlos Prates. I think Geoff Neal is just getting too old to really compete with the higher level in the welterweight division. He's a good fighter overall. He beat RDA in his last fight, knocked him out in the first round. I just don't know if Geoff Neal really can compete with people who's a better striker than him. Geoff Neal's a good gateway. He's a gatekeeper in the welterweight division. It's just he doesn't really have anything like that shines to me. It's not like he's like starching dudes in the first round consistently, throwing crazy kicks, spinning back fist, or like just throwing an overhand punch every time and everybody's dropping, you know? Geoff Neal, he's a good fighter, but sometimes it feels like he has to make it a war and go to a decision in order to win. And I don't know if you can do that against Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is the taller fighter. Although Carlos Prates just lost to Ian Gary, that was a short notice fight. And Carlos Prates was originally in training camp for Geoff Neal. Ian Gary, Shavkat, after that fight, Ian Gary stepped in to fight Carlos Prates, and that was a short notice fight. So I'm picking Carlos Prates to beat Geoff Neal. He's been in training camp for Geoff Neal for quite some time. I think he's the better striker. I don't think Geoff Neal is going to try and wrestle Carlos Prates. I think this is going to be an inside boxer like Geoff Neal trying to fight a long-range Muay Thai fighter like Carlos Prates. And when that comes, I'm picking Carlos Prates. He can throw the teeps, the rear teep, the front kick to prevent any power shot from Geoff Neal. And Carlos Prates is really good at cutting angles, stepping off the back foot, using the jab hand to push away Geoff Neal, and then throw a right hand down the middle. I think Carlos Prates is probably going to piece up Geoff Neal on the feet. Geoff Neal lost to Neil Magny. That's all I'm going to say. And Carlos Prates, he's putting out dudes. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos Prates knocked out Geoff Neal in the first round, but I'm picking second round knockout Carlos Prates beating Geoff Neal. Going to the co-main event. Now, this is dude, all these fights on this card is fire. Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. For those who don't know, Aaron Pico came from Bellator. He's a good fighter. He kind of reminds me of Michael Chandler / Dan Ige / Josh Emmett in a way. Aaron Pico is kind of like, he's a good striker. He has power in his hands, but he can also wrestle. He's literally the identical form of Michael Chandler. The only problem with Aaron Pico is I feel like he's like a Sage Northcutt in a way where he had a lot of potential, and then he ended up getting knocked out in Bellator. I think it was actually an injury, and he got knocked out. But I don't really see the hype behind Aaron Pico. I don't think he is that not that he's not great, but I don't know if he's going to beat someone like Lerone Murphy. Everybody looks at Lerone Murphy like, oh, he's not that great. He's undefeated. People don't like him because he's a distant striker. He doesn't really knock people out. He can't really submit anybody. He's not a crazy grappler. He's kind of like Leon Edwards, where he's counter-striking the entire fight. But Lerone Murphy has beaten guys like Aaron Pico. He beat Josh Emmett. He beat Dan Ige. He can prevent the heavy strikes. And I think if Aaron Pico wants to win, he has to inside box. He has to clinch up with Lerone Murphy. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Lerone Murphy is exactly like Leon Edwards. They can counter-strike really well, and I don't think Aaron Pico is going to be able to school Lerone Murphy. And I'm not trusting guys anymore coming from Bellator to go to the UFC when they have a spot like this and actually perform. Now, if Aaron Pico does this, he will be the first fighter since Michael Chandler to actually do something from Bellator to the UFC. But I'm putting my money on Lerone Murphy. I think he will win. I think he will beat Aaron Pico. I think he has pretty good defensive striking. He prevents a lot of damage. Even when he gets hit, he has a good enough chin where he's still in there counter-striking, throwing something back, so he's not getting just out-muscled or out-striked. I think Lerone Murphy will win a decision win against Aaron Pico. I think he'll be able to prevent a lot of the body shots, a lot of the grappling that Aaron Pico will do. Aaron Pico might go for like a lot of feints, like going for a takedown and then throw an overhand right, similar to Josh Emmett or Dan Ige. And I think Lerone Murphy will be able to defend a lot of those power shots and beat Aaron Pico in this fight. I'm picking Lerone Murphy decision win. Time for the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. I already made a video about this, but I'll just repeat what I said. I think Dricus du Plessis will beat Khamzat Chimaev. Although Khamzat Chimaev is undefeated, he broke Robert Whittaker's jaw. He beat Kamaru Usman, beat Gilbert Burns, beat Kevin Holland, beat all these guys. He has insane grappling. You can't defend it. I still think Dricus du Plessis can outlast that first round. It's hard for me to look at DDP. Who beat Sean Strickland, who beat Israel Adesanya, who beat Robert Whittaker, who beat Darren Till, Derek Brunson. It's hard for me to look at this guy who's accomplished so much in the UFC and just think, well, in the first round, Khamzat's just going to be able to outwork him. Just because Khamzat has done it before, that means, and DDP makes mistakes, that just means, oh, Khamzat's going to do it again. I think DDP is a lot stronger and tougher than we think, and we give him this leeway of, oh, well, he'll get beat because he looks goofy. Sometimes he trips up over himself. That's why Khamzat will be able to perform. Like, Khamzat has to be perfect in the first round to beat DDP, and I don't know if he can do that. I think Dricus du Plessis, he has the better overall skills. He's a better striker. He strikes at weird angles. He throws really good kicks. He throws the perfect roundhouse kick and spinning back kick. We saw that against Sean Strickland. He can clinch and grapple really well. He likes to use that fence. Let's not forget when he fought Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, Robert Whittaker, like, he is trying to push you back on that fence. He's not counter-striking, right? He's not winning like that. He is the hammer. He's trying to beat you down. And I think when you're facing someone like Khamzat, who's also trying to do that, the guy with the better overall skills will win. If Khamzat can only rely on the grappling, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat DDP at all. Like, on the feet, DDP is throwing in crazy spinning back kicks. He's throwing the roundhouse kick. He likes to throw the weird right hand on the angle. He likes to do the switch step jab. I'm not watching Khamzat Chimaev doing a switch kick when he's striking, or throwing a spinning back kick, or throwing a crazy overhand right. He's just throwing 1, 2, and 3. That's all he's doing on the feet. I'm not putting my money on Khamzat Chimaev. I'm putting my money on DDP. He's the underdog. This is going to be his third title defense. I think he can do it. I think DDP is good enough to beat Khamzat Chimaev and have maybe 2 or 3 more title defenses. He's only getting better. He looked pretty great against Sean Strickland, broke his nose. And this is a 5-round fight. Khamzat Chimaev has never seen a 4th or a 5th round. I'm putting my money on DDP, who's seen the 4th and 5th round multiple times. Now, if DDP gets submitted in the first round, well, Khamzat Chimaev is just better. He is that guy. But DDP is a true middleweight. He's big. He's got a lot of wins. He hasn't lost yet in the UFC. A lot of people counted him out against Robert Whittaker. He knocked him out in the second round. A lot of people counted him out against Israel Adesanya. He submitted him in the 4th round. A lot of people thought Sean Strickland was going to out-teep and out-box DDP, and he ended up breaking his nose. I think he's going to prove Khamzat Chimaev wrong. I think Khamzat Chimaev is the greatest first-round fighter of all time, and if DDP survives the first round, he'll win. With that being said, if Khamzat beats DDP in the first round, I'm never count out against Khamzat ever again. And if Khamzat beats DDP, he needs to just go ahead and move up to light heavyweight, challenge Magomed Ankalaev, just start doing some crazy shit, because this dude is a legit animal. He's a wolf. I'm picking DDP to win. Those were my picks for UFC 319. Kai Asakura, Michael Venom Page, Carlos Prates, Lerone Murphy, and DDP for UFC 319. Put some money on my picks and you will win. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.